So let's get started. Good morning, everyone. And I'd like you to start off with a comfortable seat. And if your preference is to be on your back while we do this prep, you're welcome to be there as well. And I want to take a few moments to settle in to your seat, into the ground, and start to focus on your breath. And I know some of us might be like, let's get to it. And I think it's really important that we take a moment to let go of everything else that's happening in our life right now and just focus on this moment and our breath and our body. And so if you like to put your hands on your chest and your belly, go ahead and do that. And thinking about the possibility of long, smooth, deep breaths. So one of the things we want to do is to continually, allow our body to do its natural processes, like removing toxins by taking those deep breaths, and lots is removed on our exhale. So it's okay to breathe deeply. And then once you feel like you have a rhythm, if you have your hands on your body, you might release them. And what I'd like you to do is we're going to start off interlacing the fingers. And again, you can do this on your back or sitting up. And we're just going to roll through the wrists a couple of times, more than a couple of times, a few times in each direction. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. You're just kind of exploring and seeing how it feels to move your hands and help with that circulation. And then we're going to, when you're done rolling, we're going to roll through each finger. And I know it might sound like a silly exercise to do, and some fingers are going to be easier than others. Just rolling through each finger, again, a couple of times in each direction. And then I want you to bring all of your fingertips together. And we're going to do this movement with your breath. So inhale. You're going to have your fingertips together, and then exhale, you're going to open, like kind of like you're going, whew, like getting rid of stuff, right? So inhale, pull the fingertips in, and I like to bring my hands in, and then exhale, release it all. And you can even think about, as you're releasing, that you're releasing anything in your mind, your body that you want to let go of, as well as moving through the hands. But really trying to synchronize your breath with your movements. And when you've had enough of that, we're going to you're going to open up your palm towards the sky and take the other hand and just gently pull your fingertips. And you really want to be subtle here, right? It's not about trying to reach your fingers to your forearm. It's a gentle pull. And you're still breathing, noticing any sensation, and you don't want to go to a place where it hurts. So you want to stop before there's any sort of uncomfortable sensation. And then you're going to stop, wiggle those fingers, and then do the second side. And again, it's a gentle pressure, not too much. We don't want to overdo it. Now, when you start to feel like you've done enough on this side, you'll stop and wiggle your fingers. And I just realized that I think we should have 2 tennis balls. So here, and again, you can be seated in any way that's comfortable. We're going to roll the hands, right? And so you want to get the whole padded part of your hand as well as that part in the middle. And you decide how much pressure you're going to have on your hand and the ball, as well as how quickly you're going to move them around. And remember that as we're doing this, we're reaching all those reflexology points besides, touching all the muscles and connective tissue and, you know, helping with circulation. So lots is happening here as you do this. Now, again, eventually, when you feel like you've had enough, and definitely doing this regularly is more helpful than just doing it one time. You're going to stop and you're going to hold on to your tennis balls and squeeze them gently. And I like to hold the tennis ball on that kind of the fatty part right underneath the thumb as I'm squeezing, and then move to different areas in the hand as I'm doing this. And it's not that I'm trying to totally squish the tennis ball, but just having that resistance of pressing into the tennis ball. Okay, so when you're done with that, and know that you can keep going as much as you like, we're going to take the tennis balls, and so you're now, if you're laying down, it would be a lot of pressure to put the tennis balls under your low back. So I suggest sitting up, but of course you're working with your body in whatever way works for you. But sitting up, we're going to take the tennis balls and place them at the lower back, and then bend your knees and just gently move your knees side to side and explore what distance away from your hips you want your feet to be, so that you get sensation that feels good for you. And you notice like I'm kind of lifting my feet up and bending my knee towards my body as I'm moving. You're exploring and seeing what feels best for you. Then after a few moments, you're going to take the tennis balls and move them, you know, an inch or two away from the body. Bring your body down a little bit more and do that same sort of movement, knees side to side. And then, and you could be on your elbows as well if it doesn't feel good to be on your hands. We're going to come back a little bit more. You don't want to move much beyond the pelvis, right? And again, moving the knees side to side, making sure there's not too much pressure from your body moving into the tennis balls, and of course, no pain at all. And you're still breathing, thinking about how you're feeling and how you want to feel when we're done with our time together. Now, my body's saying, I want to stay here, I don't want to move. But we're gonna, when you're ready, you're gonna make your way up, and we're going to go to the outside of the hips. So your knees are gonna be pointing up towards the sky, and then you're gonna place one tennis ball kind of right in the center of your buttock. And again, move the knees side to side. And you might want to kind of scoot your pelvis front to back, just exploring what feels good. If the tennis balls roll away, just put them back in their place. Continuing to breathe. And there are lots of things, as you all know, that we could do with the tennis balls here, but we're gonna stop there. And if you want to add in more, feel free. And then from here, we're going to make our way onto our elbows and our knees. So your elbows are going to be as wide as your shoulders, or maybe a little bit wider. And your hands are flat on the floor and your fingers are spread. And you're on your knees, and you might have a blanket, and if you're on a carpet, that might help too. And your inhale is going to be body kind of flat, although angled towards the front because you're on your elbows. And exhale, you're going to move towards child's pose, but your butt kind of stays up in the air. So some people call this puppy pose. You're reaching your forehead towards the ground. And then the inhale is going to be back, bringing your body back up. So inhale is up, exhale down, reaching your forehead towards the floor. It may or may not come. Just kind of exploring how it feels as you do. This is a much smaller movement than tabletop in child's pose. Just kind of noticing how it feels in your hips and your shoulders. Hopefully not putting too much pressure on the knees. And then the next time that you inhale, we're going to come up into a kneeling position. And in this particular position, you could place a block between your thighs and press into the center. Some of you might like that, some of you might not like that. And I just happen to have a wall right behind me, so I have my toes turned under and the padded part of my feet pressing into the wall. So what that does is it gives me a little bit more resistance pulling into the center so that my core is more engaged. Okay, now we're gonna have the hands at the sides and just gently roll through the shoulders a few times. And this could be done standing up if it doesn't feel good to be on your knees, okay? So you're finding a way that works for you, inhaling shoulders up, exhaling, taking them back. Then we're gonna roll one shoulder at a time with your breath. So it's not rushing through it, it's moving as you breathe. And again, if you're using the block, you're squeezing into the center. We're gonna stop rolling through the shoulders. You're still breathing. And then we're gonna inhale, both arms up in line with the ears. Exhale, you're gonna bring the hands towards the heart center. Release the hands, inhale, sweep those arms forward up towards the ears. Exhale, hands come together down towards the heart center. One more time, release the hands, inhale, reach up, hands come towards one another, gentle pressure on the fingertips and heels of the hand as you come to heart center. Continue to breathe. We're going to interlace the fingers now, turn your palms towards the floor. Option here, if that doesn't work for your hands, is to press hands in towards the center. Reach up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to move carefully side to side. Inhale, center, exhale as you reach over. Inhale up, exhale over. And only going as far as it feels really good in your body. No forcing here. Still breathing. Next time you come back to the center, we're going to release the hands. Now here, you could hold your hands or you could hold a strap between your hands, or you can just have your arms free, right? So here we go. So inhale, body up. Exhale, down towards child's pose, but your head is going to stay off of the ground. If you're standing, you're moving into a half forward bend. And then inhale, arms come up away from the body, exhale. And we're just going to move through the arms for a couple of moments. You could have a block under your head. And one more time. Inhale is up, exhale down. Inhale, body up. And we're going to take that block out and we're going to come all the way up to standing. And then you're going to find your tennis ball. Ooh, there goes my bell. All right, we're going to roll through the feet. So notice, things like heart rate, body temperature, energy level, even just from coming up from the ground to standing. Some of you might have already been standing. Just rolling through your feet the same way we did with the hands and noticing where you feel sensation. This is another thing I would strongly recommend doing every day. Switching feet if you haven't done so already. Another thing, especially for those of you who live around here, where I live near Salt Lake, like it's beautiful. Get outside if you can. Let your bare feet touch the earth or the grass. Get yourself grounded and connected back to the earth. All right, now eventually we're going to come to a place where we stop rolling the tennis ball. Now some of you, I'm going to show this pose in a couple of different ways. Some of you are going to like to have your left heel against the wall and your right foot forward, probably about a meter's distance, feet hip width apart. Some of you will have your hands on the wall, okay, with your feet in the same way. And some of you will just be in the center of the room. Okay, so feet are hip width apart, about a leg's distance. And you're gonna pull isometrically, front leg back leg forward, like you're trying to bring your legs together. You're gonna inhale, arms up. Exhale, you're gonna come halfway down. This is where some of you may be at the wall. And then you're gonna lift one arm up, follow that hand with your eyes, come back to center, second side. And you're just gonna go back and forth with your breath. Inhale is up, exhale is down. One more time on each side. No rush. And if you're feeling any sensitivity in your back, definitely do this with your body against the wall. Now, and I don't want to just show you my butt, but now we're gonna switch legs. So next time you finish your second side and come up, you're gonna switch sides. And again, feet about 1 meter apart, width-wise, as wide as your hips. Legs pulling in towards the center, arms reaching up. Inhale is up. Exhale, you come halfway down, hands on the wall or the back of a chair, and then you're gonna work with your breath. Inhale, arm comes up towards the sky. Exhale, back to center. It's kind of interesting doing it with the wall behind me. And one more time on your second side. And then bring your hands down to your hips. Inhale, come up. Now let's have our feet in a wide angle, but not super wide, like again, maybe 1 meter apart, feet parallel, and you're gonna pull in towards the center. I really want you to see if you can engage those inner thighs. And then the hands are gonna be on the outsides of the legs. Obviously, if you need to remove them to support yourself, do so. So the first part, we're just gonna inhale up, exhale, slide down the side, moving with your breath. Then if you want to start to bring your vision towards the lifted shoulder, you're gonna add that in. And one thing I wanted to say, if it doesn't work with your legs separated like this, you could do this same exercise with your feet closer together. And then if you want to add in the outside arm, reaching up as you come over, your vision towards your lifted arm. Or you can do any part of that that feels good for you. One more time. We're going to come back to the center, and then you're going to step your feet so that they are now about hip distance apart. And again, some of you might like a block between your thighs, feet about hip width apart. You're pulling in towards the center. We're going to have the hands on the thighs. The inhale is going to be up. Exhale, you're going to slide into a little chair. Inhale up, exhale down. And you're sliding your hands up and down your thighs as you're moving with your breath. You're making sure that low back feels good. And this next time, we're going to hold the position so you're in a comfortable chair position. You could have your butt pressing against the wall. You're going to bring the hands to the heart center. And just carefully, you're going to press the heels of the hands and the fingertips together. Very gentle pressure. Long, smooth breaths. Make sure your lower abdominals are engaged, still breathing. Next exhale, we're going to slide into a forward bend. And then inhale, slide all the way up. And we're going to do that for a couple of breaths. Inhale up. Exhale, slide down, keeping your hands connected to your legs the entire time, with or without the block between your thighs. Noticing your breath, making sure your body feels good as we move. Great. Now, next time you come up, you're gonna take the block away, And you're gonna find your strap. And remember that if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use any kind of belt or sock or piece of material. And then from here, what I want you to do, and some of you might like to have your butt on the wall or your hands on the wall. We're going to take the strap around the padded part of the left foot. So you're going to ground down through your right foot. You're going to walk that left leg up. You might have your arm out to the side for balance or on your hip, or like in my case, I have it on the wall behind me. And you're going to start to open that leg out to the side. Breathe and focus. You could also do this with a bent knee without a strap. And remember, you want to find that way that works for your body. Inhale back to the center, foot comes down, still breathing, and then we're going to do the second side. So remember, always, always lots of options. So ground down through the left foot, walk the right leg up, walk your hand down the strap so your elbow's straight, extend that left arm for balance, start to open your leg out, or you can bend the knee and do it that way. Still breathing, finding your focus, a non-moving spot on the floor to look at, coming back to the center, and then foot comes down and we're gonna get rid of our strap. Now from here, how's everybody doing, by the way? I want you to roll through your shoulders one more time. And we're going to make our way down onto our back body. And if you have a wall close by, or you could use like the back of a sofa or something like that. But what I want you to do is to bring yourself down to the floor very carefully. Some of you might like a blanket under your hips or under your whole body. And we're going to do legs up the wall. So here we are, and your legs are extended, and you want to be in a comfortable position so that the backs of your legs, your hamstrings aren't screaming at you. We're going to pause here for a moment. You might have your hands, one hand on the chest, one hand below the rib cage, or you might have your arms on the ground. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Long, smooth breaths. It's a great time to go inside and notice how your body's feeling. And this is a wonderful little reprieve for your mind and the body during the day. Like if you need a transition in between, you know, something to do in between moving from work to home or something along those lines. Now, when you're ready, we're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together and slide your feet down the wall. So your feet and legs are in a bound angle pose, bottoms of the feet towards one another. Feet are the pinky toe side of the foot against the wall. And your hands can stay on your body or move down to the floor. And then if it sounds inviting, you're going to move your knees from side to side. And there's a gentle pressure of your feet pressing towards one another. Your body is heavy and relaxed on the floor as well as your head. Then we're going to slide the feet up and open the legs into a wide angle. Some of you might like to put your hands on the outside of the thighs for support. And you're still breathing, body heavy, head heavy. Still breathing. Now, when you're ready, you might bring your legs together. And now we're gonna take the right leg and cross over the left and then slide that right foot someplace comfortable onto the leg and flex the right foot. And then very carefully, you're gonna start to slide that left foot down the wall and the knee will bend. So this is a position that we do often in lots of different ways, standing up, on our backs. And so some of you may need to scoot your body further away from the wall so that you have room so that your hips don't come up way into the air. And then some of you might take one hand and put it on that flexed foot and the top of the knee and gently move side to side. And some of you might like to just remain stationary. And you're going to continue to breathe. Make sure there's no discomfort. Again, move your body away from the wall if you don't feel like you have enough room. And the other thing is you don't have to bring that foot down that far. You're going to find a comfortable place for you. And you're using the muscles in your leg to press that right knee towards the wall. Okay, you're still breathing. And if you happen to still be moving side to side, we're going to come to a place where we stop, slide the left foot up, uncross the right foot, and pause for a moment. Sometimes we want to rush right into the second side, but just give your body and mind a pause. And then when you're ready, you're going to cross the left foot over the right leg and slide it to a comfortable place. That foot stays flexed. Again, you're using the muscles of your leg to press that left knee towards the wall. And then you're going to carefully slide that right foot down the wall as your right knee bends. Some of you will take a hand to your flexed foot and the knee and gently rock, or just rock without holding. If you've already scooted away from the wall, you might have enough room now, or you might need to scoot some more. So just kind of make sure that you're comfortable, that you can still breathe easily. Your body and head are still heavy on the floor. And it might take a little experimentation to see the right place for, both legs. And just continue to breathe and soften. And again, carefully, we're going to slide that right foot up, uncross the left. We're going to pause here one more time. And then let's bend the knees, both knees, and slide your feet down the wall. And what I want you to do, this isn't going to be a big movement, and I don't know, I'll try to do it on the side so you can see what I'm doing. So the knees are bent, your feet are against the wall, and what I want you to do is just start to lift your pelvis off the floor just a little bit. We're not going up into shoulder stand, but I just want you to connect your feet onto the wall and start to lift your pelvis up just a little bit. So try not to overdo it, just a little bit of lift. It's almost just like, well, it is rocking through your pelvis. Your feet are on the wall. Your body's supported by the floor, and you're just carefully rocking through that pelvis. And we do this lots of times with our feet on the floor, so just notice how it feels in your body to have your feet lifted. And eventually we'll come to a place where we stop rocking through the pelvis. We're going to walk the legs up the wall again, and you might have a slight bend in your knees, or you might have them straight. And now your hands are going to be on your legs. Inhale is going to be when we're on the floor. Exhale, you're going to slide your hands up your legs and possibly lift up your head and shoulders. Exhale down to the floor. Now, inhale on the floor, exhale, slide up your legs. I got confused for a moment. Just move with your breath. Now, if it doesn't feel good to lift the head and shoulders, you could just slide your arms. And you could also take your legs off the wall and bring your legs towards the body. It works different muscle groups, but see what works for you. And one more time. And after your next exhale and you come down to the ground, One more time, we're going to bring our hands onto our body, if that's comfortable. Have your legs up the wall, pause for a moment. And notice again, how does your body feel? Your heart rate, body temperature. Now, when you've reconnected, we're gonna bend the knees and roll over to your right side, and you're gonna find your strap. Now here, just check and make sure we have enough, yeah, we have enough time for this. So now, you're gonna be on your back body with your knees bent. We're going to take the strap and place it on the padded part of the left foot. Your right knee is going to stay bent through all of this. Now, here, it's important that we keep this leg perpendicular to the floor. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn the left toes out and you're going to open the right knee out to the side. So the left leg is perpendicular to the floor and it's turned out like you walk like a duck. And then your right leg is on the pinky toe side of the foot, the knee is bent, as in like a half bound angle. And you're still breathing and you're noticing all the wonderful sensations. And we like to hold this for, good half minute to a minute. So see if you can relax here. And when you're using the strap, you want to make sure that your blood can still circulate in your hand. So it's there for support, but not like you're gripping, holding on for dear life. Now we're going to come back to the center with the left leg and the right knee. And now you're going to turn. So again, the leg stays perpendicular and you're going to turn your left foot in. When I was younger, they used to call this knock-kneed, or something along those lines. And then you're going to drop the right knee in towards the center. You may need to walk your right foot out a little bit as you do this. And again, holding the position, seeing if you can, be somewhat relaxed in the rest of your body and head. And I know that sometimes it's hard to know when our leg is perpendicular when we're on our own. But see if you can look and notice and have that happen for you. Now we're going to come back to neutral with the knee and the leg. And you're going to take both straps into the right hand. Your left hand is going to come around the right leg and you're going to look for your right foot and then bring that right knee down to the ground. Now for some of us, the hand won't come to the foot and so you can just have that knee on the ground. And then very slowly being in control, you're going to bring that left leg across the body and don't let it drop to the floor, and you're going to press with the foot into the strap. And then I want you to think about that left buttock, the lifted buttock here. Imagine that you're trying to press that buttock away from your body. You need to engage your lower abdominals to do that. And keep breathing. And of course, you're modifying in any way to make whatever we're doing work for your body, right? Keep breathing, relax through the upper body and the head. And then very carefully, we're going to bring that leg up, relax, let go of the foot, bring your right knee back up, and you're going to take your strap off and bring the left foot down. Pause for a moment. Notice how you feel. Sometimes I like to stretch the legs out here and just kind of get a different feel, wiggle through my hips a little bit. Sometimes it's nice just to keep the knees bent. And then we're going to move to the second side. So again, strap is on the padded part of the right foot now. Leg is perpendicular. Left leg is bent with that foot flat on the floor. And you're going to turn the right leg out. This is, walking like a duck. And then open the left knee out to the side. Again, you move to the pinky toe side of the left foot. You're still breathing. Now, can you just like be for a moment and notice the wonderful sensations in your body, like honoring your body that it's doing this? We're going to come back to the center, neutral, with the leg and the foot. Now you're going to pivot that right leg towards the center. This is the knock-kneed one. Maybe step your left foot out a little bit as you reach the left knee towards the ground. You move to the big toe side of the foot. Still breathing, long, smooth breaths. You know, and as you're here, again, just noticing what's happening in your body. If you find yourself like wandering off in your mind because we're holding, bring yourself back to your breath and your body. Again, we're going to make our way back to neutral. Both straps are going to come into the left hand. You're going to lift your right foot up and lift your left foot up, take your right hand towards the left foot and possibly bring that knee towards the ground. Again, some of you might not hold on to that foot. And then ever so slowly, you're going to bring that leg across the body. You're pressing the foot into the strap, still breathing, relaxing through your head, your torso, and then possibly reaching your top buttock away. You're pressing away using those lower abdominals to press your lifted hip away. Still breathing. Very carefully, you're going to lift up that right leg, let go of your left foot and take that foot to the ground. Carefully taking your strap off. One more time, bringing the feet down to the ground, hopefully feeling even side to side. And just like we did with our feet pressing against the wall, I want you to just tilt through your pelvis. So inhale, tilt the pelvis up. Exhale, tilt the pelvis down. Just moving and breathing. Now, in this next position, you could, I've been a fan of using the blanket roll, but you could do this with your body flat on the ground, or you can take the blanket and your butt stays on the floor and the blanket goes under your body and your head, or you can be flat on the floor. And what we're going to do is we're going to reach the left arm up towards the ceiling and then carefully take it across the body, and your right hand is going to go in between your shoulder and your elbow. And you're trying to relax through your body as we're here. And if you put the blanket there and it doesn't feel good, take it out. And then we're going to reach the right arm up and again, take it across the body. The left hand is in between the elbow and the shoulder as you bring that arm across the body. And you're trying to stay relaxed through the rest of your body while you're here. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths. Life is so interesting. And then we're going to release that arm. Now, here we're going to hug ourselves and you're going to walk your hands towards your shoulder blades so your elbows are pointing up towards the ceiling, and gently rock side to side. Continuing to breathe. You're going to stop in the middle. You're going to look down and notice which arm is on top. Then you're going to uncross and bring the other elbow on top. And again, walk your fingertips towards your shoulder blades and gently rock side to side. Now one more time, you're gonna come to a place where you stop, relax your arms. This is the time where I want you to check in with your body. Is there anything else that your body needs right now, right? Like one of the things I'm thinking, you might take your arms out to the side, do a nice little twist, head in one direction, knees in the other direction. Or your body might want something else. So just kind of see what your body wants to do as we get ready to move towards Shavasana. And then when you're ready, you're going to make your way into a comfortable position for Shavasana. So right now you're either getting yourself set up in Shavasana or you're doing what else your body needs to get yourself comfortable. And so as you start to settle in, checking in with your body and seeing if there's anything that would make your position just a little bit more comfortable. And with each exhale, allowing your muscles, your mind to soften, to be held, to be supported. Long, smooth breaths. Shri Maha Lakshmi Swaha. Om Shri Maha Lakshmi Swaha. Om Shri Maha Lakshmi Swaha. So, if you'd like to sit up and do a practice, a breathing and meditation practice, please do so. If you'd like a little bit more time on the ground, feel free to stay there. And as you are getting yourself up, for those of you who are sitting up, I invite you to find a comfortable seat. We're going to do a few rolls through the body. So your butt stays on the floor and you're just moving through the upper part of the body. You can make your circles as big or as little as you'd like, but I'd like you to move slowly and move 3 or 4, depending on how quickly you're moving, 3 or 4 times in each direction. And then eventually settling in to your seat and feeling yourself rooting into the ground. And we're going to do a little niyasam, which is a moving mudra, a seal or gesture with the hands. I think most of you have done this before. And so your palms are open, resting on your legs. And we're going to bring the finger towards the thumb and the thumb towards the finger. And so we'll start with the index finger. So inhale when the hands are open. Exhale, you bring the index finger towards the thumb towards the index finger. Inhale, hand open. Exhale, middle finger towards the thumb towards middle finger. Inhale, open. Exhale, ring finger. Moving with your breath, resting the hands on the legs, finally pinky, and then you start all over. And you're just moving with the breath. Inhale is open. You can use ujjayi or just breathe regularly. And remember, inhale, palms open. Exhale, fingertips come together. Believe it or not, this is actually good for not just connecting energetically and with your breath and your body, but it's good for the wrist because it helps with circulation. And just moving with your breath. Now we're going to add in sound, and you can choose to make sound aloud in a whisper or silently to yourself. And we're going to use the sounds that I like to use so often. So hu, ah, and om, one sound per finger. So inhaling with the palms open, exhaling, index finger. Hu. Inhale, open. Inhale, open. Om. Om. Inhale, open. And just move at your own pace. And you might try making the sound in a whisper this time. last time silently. Hugh. And we'll end on the index finger. And we're going to keep the index finger and the thumb together. And for the next few breaths, again, settling into your seat, making sure your arms are comfortable. Thumb towards the index finger on both hands, connected, other three fingers pointing away. Just notice you can focus on either the sensation of tip of index finger, thumb coming together. You can focus on your breath. Or you could focus on the sounds that we used, Hugh, ah, and om. Don't try to focus on them all. Just choose one. So eventually releasing the fingertips, taking your hands together. Sometimes I like to rub them together a little bit. We're going to bring the hands to the heart center, thumbs gently pressing on the sternum, the breastbone, fingertips connected, heels of the hands connected. A couple of nice deep breaths. Taking a moment to thank yourself for showing up and doing the practice. Taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. One of the things to remember that when we take care of ourselves, it ripples out to those that we come into contact with, even if it's virtual contact. So if you'd like to join me in one last Om, nice big in-breath. Namaste.